For several soldiers released for medical reasons, they suffered stress injuries even though they have not been deployed.
I enrolled in 2017 as a logistics officer, and I went to the military college in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu. I've been discharged for medical reasons in 2023.
After a career of 18 years in the forces, Nadia faces the same kind of battle. Not from a war zone, but from being on garrison.
I know many who are leaving, but not because they were at war, because they were stationed in a garrison, and I want to carry the flag for all those people.
Nadia is discovering the benefits of connecting with nature, as well as the support of veterans. Healing avenues now recognized by science.
Since I was very young, at 16, my mom didn't want to sign for me to get in. So it was a dream that I kept a long time in my head. And eventually, when I grew up and I was more independent, I decided to join. I had more knowledge also of the different trade. So yeah, it was a dream.
For Nadia, it was clear from the beginning. She was going to take pictures of the war. She wanted to document the history of Canadian military missions in war zones.
And it was the trade that I applied for. We have to make choices, actually 3 choices that we have to keep. And I only did one choice. I only wanted to be an image tech. And when they phoned, I said, yes, I want to join it. Like next week, you have to be at the recruiting center.
A woman in a man's world, the question never stopped her. In fact, she didn't even dwell on it when she joined the ranks in 2007.
I was not joining because I was a woman and I wanted to state that women have their place in the military. I really joined because I wanted to do that job. I wanted to be in the forces, but not as a woman. I just wanted to be in the forces and do my job and the best that I could.
By the end of the decade, while being reassigned elsewhere in the country, reality finally caught up with her.
The question I was asking myself, I'm just going to go on. It's going to be different on another base. It's going to be different in 2 years but it unfortunately didn't.
That's the beginning of a downward spiral. In April 2025, she was released for medical reasons.
It was not in my plan. It was I have to say, it's been only 5 months. So it's really recent. So that's why probably I'm still a little bit moved. And it was in my plan to leave. That was not a plan to leave early. It's a retirement that I have to take.
Really? It's permanent?
Yes, I'm not going back.
However, Nadia tried everything to put an end to what was preventing her from properly completing her military service.
I couldn't bear the harassment anymore. I couldn't bear. No. No. I wanted to do my job, but that was too hard to go through that.
She was never sent on a war mission. It was on garrison that the psychological injuries occurred.
Happened on garrison. It happened on base. I cannot say everybody in the forces were bad for me or was toxic for me, but there was too much for me to be able to pursue without being hurt. It doesn't mean because we were deployed, it can happen here.
Trauma can occur during travel between two bases, or even on a base itself, during an exercise.
There's also other situations where someone, for example, will be sexually assaulted while on deployment. I mean, that could happen here too, you know?
That was hard. It still is hard to accept. To leave something that it was a dream. But my health is more important. The wind, the sun, the water, you have to experience it. Like when we go fishing, Vet told me, you'll see, when you'll get on the water, we'll be fishing, you'll see. Your mind will stop, you'll be able to be in the moment. I didn't know I was able to do that. But the first time I was on the water, fishing with them, I'm like, crap, they were right.
These tips and recommendations actually came from veterans she knew, who had experienced the benefits of the fly fishing-based support program.
It brings us something, and now it's essential for me. I have to be in contact with nature almost every day if I can. Even if it's winter, it's calming for me, and being surrounded with the trees, snow, and being alone in nature with my dog sometimes, or doing like an activity. That's the way for me where I can find my peace again, where it's more calm, no stress.
No matter the season.
No matter the season, I can be underwater, I can be on ice, in snow, yeah.
There are more and more studies that tend to show that connecting with nature, with open spaces, has an impact on the brain.
In her practice, Sylviane Graton has specialized in mental health issues related to post-traumatic stress.
The more time we spend in nature, the more our bodies produce neurotransmitters. When we talk about endorphins and noradrenaline, it'll decrease our stress hormones because we'll be in an environment where our body's at peace.
The social worker also led a study that demonstrates the benefits of peer support in the healing process of people living with PTSD.
During a recovery process, we are able to create a social network in which we feel supported, where we build self-esteem, and where we experience success. It clearly has an impact on how we feel.
I've known members who have been part of these programs, and they usually really enjoy it, whereas they don't enjoy a lot of things in many cases. So that's a very important thing.
For Nadia, who's returning to civilian life, reaching out to others remains a challenge.
I've lost confidence in others, but building it slowly, that's why I take the time to go every Wednesday when I can, to go to the Legion, because I have to expose myself to other people, not knowing what they're gonna say. I feel safe with them, so they're not a threat to me. I learned from them that I can trust again and feel a bit more free.
I also like that I get to practice my skills and my patience. The fishing trips in the summer as well bring it all together. For example, I can get overwhelmed and everyone has been really understanding.
Melody Moreau also suffered psychological injuries. And in her case too, it happened on a military base.
I like talking to everyone. It's bringing me out of isolation as well. I feel accepted even though I'm like a minority. I'm one of the only one who comes often as a woman, but I don't feel any less part of the group.
They were reassuring, they were nice guys, and eventually I went every Wednesday. They bring me support without being like a social worker or just being themselves. So it's a healing path that I want to take because it's gonna free myself. So I keep going because I know there's some men that I know that will help me to have faith again.
For Nadia, it's clear. The challenge she's facing isn't experienced the same way for a woman.
Especially if we were not deployed, I think it's different. And it's harder I think, for a woman to be surrounded again with a lot of men, even if they're not in service anymore.
Nadia remains convinced, however, that women remain an asset, an added value in this male-dominated world.
We think differently. We bring more, sometimes our heart, the family aspect. And I'm not saying that the men that don't do, but there's a flavor that a woman can bring. It's different. We bring something different than the men.
Two guys on me!
If there's one major challenge that seems to affect most of the military personnel, men or women, it is becoming the person they were before military service.
Because we knew how much we were happy. For myself, I was not scared. I was not to be harassed. I was not scared of the way I was treated in my career from some people. When I move, when I'm in action doing sport, it brings me back something that was me. It's like going back to somebody that I knew that would bring me joy, happiness, and peace. Yeah. I think I'm on the right path because that's what I want. I want to heal. I want to live. I want to be happy again. So.
Nature, fly tying, fly fishing, peer support, even animals can soothe the chaos left by traumas.
I saw somebody my age lost everything. He lost his life. And I still think about it that day. I still smell it, I still feel it. I mean, the nightmares don't go away. But it's part of my story. It's part of who I am now.